ನಾನು ತೋರಿಸಿದಾಗ ನೀನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಜೂಮ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದ. Okay, so in this experiment what we are trying to do is angular measurement using sine bar. So this is your sine bar. So the apparatus required are the sine bar, the dial gauge and a wedge component. So this is the wedge component. So you can see the inclination here. So this is the shorter side, this is the longer side, but then this becomes the length. So using vernier calipers, okay, using vernier calipers I will measure the height h1 of the wedge component, h2 of the wedge component, then the length. So once, so this is the wedge component. Okay, so this becomes my height h2, and this becomes h1 at the end. So then this becomes the overall length. So the overall length is measured. So this becomes the overall length. So when you try to do, you will obtain the values of h2 as 25 mm, 8.5 mm for h1, and length of the specimen will remain 98 mm. So now you can see the diagram here. Okay, so the first step we are going to do is we are finding theta theoretical value. So how will I find out that? By taking tan theta. So this is right angle triangle. So this side is nothing but h2 minus h1. So opposite by adjacent. Adjacent is nothing but the length of the component. So then I have this theta theoretical. By substituting all the values in this formula, h2 minus h1 by L, I will have theta theoretical value approximately equal to 9 degree for this component, wedge component. So now I have to verify this experimentally using the sine bar apparatus. So to build, you know that there are two rollers for the sine bar. Okay, relief holes are provided to hold the sine bar. So you know that slip gauges are to be provided at one end to make the surface flat. Okay, then we will be using the dial gauge to check the evenness or the horizontal parallelness of the specimen. So now I have to build this h approximate, that is the approximate slip gauge thickness from the theta theoretical value found out. So now how will I do that? So I will just substitute this theta theoretical value in this equation. So wherein I will be knowing the slip gauge height. H approximate is nothing but the slip gauge height that has to be built. L is the distance between these two rollers. So that is fixed. For the sine bar specimen, the roller distance is 200 mm in our case. So we will be substituting that. Then finally we will get 33 mm as the answer. So we have already built the 33 mm thickness height gauge here, the slip gauge. So now we are going to just check with the dial gauge. So make sure that the dial gauge keeps running evenly on the surface and the error is between 0 to 10 divisions, so that our answer is correct. So the least count of the dial gauge is 10 micron or 0.01 mm. So the reading should vary between 0 and 10. It says that our procedure is correct. Thank you. We are just doing the trial and error method, so that the divisions will not go beyond 10. It should be, the deflection should be between the 0 and 10 divisions of the dial gauge. So now we have the sine bar. So this is nothing but the h approximate which we have built. So this is the angle theta. So this is how we find practically the angle theta. So this becomes the angle. So this is one right angle triangle though. So we can find the theta experimental from the setup once the dial gauge reading is between 0 and 10. Okay, so in this experiment it is almost similar to the sine bar. So we are using the sine center. So if we have a conical component, so you can see that this is the conical component. Okay, so it is circular in shape. So you have different diameters. The diameter is vary. So call this side as D2 and this side as D1. So now we have this to hold the specimen. So since this is not a wedge component, it won't remain flat on a inclined surface. So we have this sign centers to hold the specimen in place. So now similarly we have to first note down the dimensions of the specimen, D1, D2 and length of the specimen. Then we have to note down the distance between the two rollers. It is similar to the previous procedure whatever we have followed. So this is the conical component. Okay, L will be the length of the conical component, D2 will be the longer side, D1 will be the shorter side. Here alpha is called the semi-cone angle, 2 alpha is called the cone angle. So what we are going to do is we are going to find the alpha value using tan alpha theoretical in the formula. So this side is nothing but opposite by base. Base is nothing but the length of the component. Opposite is nothing but D2 minus D1 by 2. So keeping this value we will be finding alpha theoretical. So alpha theoretical is approximately found to be 3 degrees. So now this value we are trying to build the slip gauge thickness using the value of theta as alpha as 3 degree. We are going to build approximate slip gauge thickness HAPP, which is 16.3 mm. The distance between the rollers for the sign center is 300 mm. So substituting that and the value of alpha theoretical, we will get H approximate, that is the approximate height of slip gauge to be built. So now that is what kept the slip gauge thickness, which is around 16.3 mm. So then again we have to make sure that the dial gauge runs evenly without any deflection overall the length of the component. So the deflection should remain between 0 and 10. So the least count of the dial gauge is nothing but 10 microns. Till we obtain a deflection between 0 and 10 divisions on the dial gauge. So then it means that the value we are obtaining is practically correct. Thank you.